Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Advance, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got another ridiculous show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Anyway, let's get into today's topic here. So, as you guys know, for people that have been following this channel for some time now, we chronicled the fallout between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And it really all kicked off during an interview that Scottie Pippen did a number of years ago. I think this was after the Last Dance docuseries, where he just went on this tirade and just started tearing down Jordan and saying all kinds of things. And then from that point forward, things just got messier and messier and messier, and we covered it every single step of the way. And then what would happen is things would kind of simmer down. And then periodically, Scottie Pippen would pop up again saying one crazy thing or another about Michael Jordan. So this morning, we're just kind of looking for what to talk about. And I came across a few articles here from yahoosports.com. One of them with the following headline, which is the one that I really want to focus on today, said, "A lot of players found it really difficult." Scottie Pippen says some Bulls players weren't happy that Michael Jordan returned in 1995. The moment I read that headline, I said to myself, you have got to be kidding me. You really have got to be. Like, here we go again with this nonsense. Here we go again with this nonsense. And I said to myself, okay, this is something worth really delving into. But before we get into what this article had to say, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on PrizePicks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love PrizePicks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into what this article says. It said a lot had changed from when Michael Jordan first stepped away from the game in 1993 to when he returned in March 1995. The world was different. The NBA had begun a quiet shift, and so had the Chicago Bulls. With Michael Jordan playing baseball, the Bulls had gone from an empire to a team trying to find its new identity. They weren't floundering, but they weren't the same menacing force they had been in the early 90s. So when Jordan returned, the gravity in the building shifted again, adjusting to Jordan. Of course, MJ was still walking in as the leader of the team. But it was a new kind of feeling for those who came in after he left. I think a lot of players found it really difficult. Scottie Pippen, who played 478 games with Jordan before his retirement. Michael brings a little different style of pressure to the game, and I think a lot of players that had came there and gotten very comfortable realized they had to go back to restart. Players like Luke Longley, Steve Kerr, Bill Winnington, and others had walked into a post-Jordan locker room and slowly began carving out space, forming chemistry with Pippen as the team's unquestioned leader. Longley had been adjusting to the league's physicality and was slowly growing into his role as the Bulls started a starting center. Kerr, coming off a productive 1993-1994 season, had started to insert himself as a reliable shooter. But Jordan's return didn't come with time to adjust. It came with urgency, with championship weight. And for players who weren't part of the first three-peat, that meant recalibrating expectations and relearning the language of greatness, taking control. Jordan's return in 1994-1995 season sparked hope, but not magic. He showed flashes of his old brilliance, even dropped in 55 points on the Knicks at Madison Square Garden just 5 games in. But Russ doesn't respect reputation. In the playoffs, the Magic exposed what the Bulls lacked: rhythm, depth, and cohesion. Chicago lost in 6 games, and that stung. By that point, the chemistry that had been carefully built under Pippen's leadership had to be reconstructed, not torn down, but reimagined. Players were relearning how to function around Jordan's relentless standards. "We're not just walking into Scottie's house anymore," said Pippen, reflecting on that adjustment period. "It's Michael and Scottie's house, and we have to sort of change how we do things around here as far as our comfort zone." Okay, so let me get into the second article. It says, Scottie Pippen changed a lot of things for the Chicago Bulls. Gary Payton agrees with John Sally that Pippen was the best all-around player in the 1990s. Says this: "In the presence of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen was hardly the most popular name when mentioning the Chicago Bulls dynasty. The headlines, shoe deals, and cultural iconography were all wrapped around Jordan's legendary fire. But the story often read differently for those who shared the floor, who lived the wars and tracked the subtleties behind the banners. The glue wasn't always flashy, but it held everything together." Pippen's impact. John Sally, who won championships rings with the Bad Boy Pistons and played alongside Jordan and Pippen in his late career, has long respected the architecture of greatness. He credits Pippen as the real engine behind Chicago's shift from talent to triumph. The sentiment caught some more traction when Hall of Famer Gary Payton, a defensive juggernaut in his own right, backed Sally's claims with no hesitation. "I agree with that. Yes," Pippen said. "Scottie Pippen changed a lot of things for the Chicago Bulls. If he wasn't there, I don't think they would have won a lot of those games, because he did guard the best player. He made the crucial plays. He got the crucial rebounds. He got the crucial blocks and things like that." I think that's what John Sally is really saying. Now, a few things here. The reason we're addressing this show is because it goes back to these narratives, right? That Jordan was this tyrant, this horrible guy, blah, 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 blah. He was there to demean people, oppress people. And then you have these other talking points like, oh, Scottie was the real best all-around player in the NBA, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, how Michael Jordan held Scottie Pippen back. And, if Scottie Pippen had the opportunity to go out there and just be free on his own, let me pull this up here, be free on his own, he would be his own man and he would really show the world what he was all about. Let me give you guys Scottie Pippen stats in the absence of Jordan, when he was the number one option, definitive number one option for the Chicago Bulls. That season, Scottie averaged 22 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 2.9 steals, 0.8 blocks per game. So in the absence of Jordan, when he had full control over that unit, where he could do essentially what he wanted to do that year, those were his numbers. Are they bad numbers? Hell no. They're fantastic numbers. But do any of these stats say to you that, man, you can really see how Jordan was holding him back? You can really see it. Now, he shot a great percentage from the floor, 49% from the field, 32% from the three-point line, while shooting, what was his free throw percentage? 66% from the free throw line, right? So now the narrative is, well, Jordan was just out there scoring, but the guy that really did all the dirty work and all of that was Scott. Who made more defensive teams? Was it Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan? Who made more defensive teams? Was it Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan? The answer would be Jordan. Who won the defensive player of the year between the two of them? Was it Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan? Who had more assists between the two of them? Was it Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan? Some occasions it was Jordan. Who led the team in scoring? Who was their closer? Who was their emotional leader? Who was their driver? Let me ask you guys this question, and this summarizes everything. Who pushed who? Did Scottie push Jordan or did Jordan push Scottie? I repeat it once more. Who pushed who? Did Scottie push Jordan or did Jordan push Scottie? We've even done shows where Scottie was like, man, I let Jordan down in the clutch, and in these moments I let him down. But when did you hear stories about Jordan letting down Scottie Pippen? When? Like, we got to stop the nonsense, bro. Scottie Pippen is an all-time great top 50 player of all time. But look, whenever you go on these campaigns and they try to paint this picture like, oh, Jordan was this and Jordan was that, you always end up losing because people saw what they saw. They saw what they saw, bro. Like, let's stop the nonsense. Like, we got to stop at a certain point. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show and I'm out. Peace.